So it's like we got Snake coming to chat, by the way, and says, I still want to game with my Snake build, so I'm happy. Laugh my ass off. Well, good to hear, man. Good to hear you're happy. And thank you very much for playing. That was a much closer series than I thought it was going to be. And my hat's off to you, sir. I hope we see you a little bit more in the future for BaseTradeTV. But T-Bear, just hit that sub button. Thank you so much. That's going to be 1,242. I also want to remind our subscribers coming up on Wednesday. Actually, we might just send it a little bit early because why not? But all the replays we've been collecting for the Ting Open, from the round of 32 to the round of 16 to the round of 8 to like hundreds of replays are coming your guys' way for some of the best players playing Legacy right now. So you can look forward to that in your inboxes in the near future. But anyways, spawning in the top right side of Orbital Shipyard, he's pink, he's Terran. From Team True Esports, it's Beastyqt.
In the bottom left as the green Zerg, he is Guru. Oh, and it's a team kill.
Yeah, a little bit. I keep forgetting who's on what team nowadays. It feels like everyone's shuffling all the time, but this will be interesting.
Mm-hmm.
By the way, would like to give a thank you to Oli Moly for adminning this today, because she's not only just adminning this, but later today she's going to be covering the Chairs for Gaming Cup with Fear Dragon.
Huh. That's
and
right.
She's also come over to America, so she's no longer in Korea. Crank's been abandoned. She left him.
Yep, this is her first time in America, so no, I'm just kidding.
Yeah, ever.
She is from Texas and is back there right now. I have to keep like remembering that you know, because she had this odd sleeping pattern before, so I could like check at like 3 a.m. her time and she might be awake. But now I could be like, oh, it's only 4 p.m. in Texas. She should be awake.
Yeah, when she's not doing wedding stuff, we could actually maybe play games with her at a reasonable hour. Like,
That's
hey,
insane.
you want to play Overwatch at not 5 a.m.? Sweet!
Wow. Wowzers.
Okay, real quick, by the way, to finish things off, this is, again, the G2A Cup. Now, this is not a cup where, like, you're like, okay, this was planned ahead of time. This was made last night. This was made yesterday, actually. At the end of the cast, Zomgrip said, let's do a cup on Monday. So I said it. She agreed, and we threw this cup together last minute. The problem is G2A money is a little bit funky, and again, a lot of what we make, like, they pay us an amount per month we can't discuss, but we do make more for games you guys purchase. Like, the reason we advertise this link isn't just because we're like super like G2A gung-ho, and I am, don't get me wrong, they've been very kind to us, but we do make more money on the more games you guys buy. So if we can sell some games during this cup, we will put that money, so like, for example, basically what I'm saying is money earned today will go towards another cup in the future. And if we don't earn enough to create another cup, then so be it. But if we do, I love StarCraft 2 content. Everyone knows this. Since day one of BaseTradeTV, that's been the goal. Use the money to make more content. So if you guys are considering buying games, make sure to use promo code BASE and use our referral link, g2a.com/r/BaseTradeTV.
So, I'm not gonna lie, I'm a little freaked out. It's kind of like gloomy outside, and the fireplace thing happened. And now someone just rang the doorbell, and my cats are all like freaking out.
You know, it's even one of those things too where your cat's like, you think it's staring at you, but then starts looking behind you, and you're like, what are you looking at? There's nothing there. You're like, oh shit.
Oh, yeah. So I'm a little spooked out.
Do you have a will? Just unrelated.
Do I have a will? Shut up. Nothing goes to Riffin.
These Reapers, by the way, getting some nice damage done on that hatchery, but they are going to have to turn around. That Reaper scouts the links coming across the middle of the map. I mean, this will wall up. This isn't dangerous, but the question is, does BC keep pressuring, or does he go back home to clean this up? And it looks like he's going to keep choosing to pressure. That is a decent amount of Reapers. We've talked about this. People will go about 6 and start transitioning out, and that seems to be BC's MO for this.
Mm-hmm. The link's taking care of the other side, just through a wall and a handful of Marines, so... going to continue trying to take as many Lings down as possible. There's not much that Guru can do, but, you know, honestly, the fact that he was able to get to a third base and has a little bit, you know, comfort droning here is actually pretty good. You know, if you overcommit, you could go for roaches and then delay your third base even further and then just kind of fall behind, even if they're not really committing themselves. So the amount of Lings is never ideal. No, those all would have been drones, absolutely, but Guru's done a nice enough job against this, and he's going to have a lair. He's probably going to go for, I'm going to guess, a Spire, as there's no Roach Warren. Beastyqt is planting down his third base.
Okay, so, I guess it's kind of funny because we saw Beastie, I hesitate to say struggle, but he had a bit of a funky time against Snake, right? And Guru, in my opinion, no offense to Snake, again, just not a guy we know, Guru is probably a lot better of a player. So I'm wondering, how Beasty's feeling more so than anything else coming into this. Because right now, it's not like he's messing anything up. This is to be expected. It's Orbital Shipyard. You go for Reapers. Like, congratulations, you played the same way every other Terran does. But he's really sticking to it. And he's not really, not getting a lot done for it, frankly.
Well, it's something. I think he really wants to try and get another scout, though, before all these Reapers die. You see that many Lings and no Roaches, you might assume they're going to go into a Spire, but it's not always a safe assumption. Zergs have been playing around a lot with transferring from Roach to Muta, Muta to Roach, and whatnot.
Okay, people are really getting on our asses about the bot being down. I'm going to put the camera on you for a second and see if I can go get it to work. But the thing is, again, guys, it's not the bot that's having the problem. It's the Wi-Fi card on my laptop being inconsistent. So are you...
I'm off your camera.
Okay, so we'll see. This might break the camera. It did. But okay, guys, this will only be for a moment, so we'll be back here in just a sec.
Alright, so we got a double job going in here. Beastyqt was able to get to exactly where he wanted, 3 base, a couple of more CVs, and he'll be at perfect saturation, and he has a huge army. So while Guru initially was doing a good job pushing back the Reapers, it was a problem that he had to keep pushing back the Reapers. He was going for a build that was going for tech first, very important ground units later, and doesn't even have a Baneling nest to even try and start making Banelings. So this game might just end. He loses the 3rd base, and with that, actually, Beastyqt is going to play it safe and just get out of there. But killing the 3rd base is just, it's not game ending, but it probably will be. That is pretty huge. Guru immediately replants it, his credits, and he has a bunch of mutas now. Like, he was investing a lot of his gas and money into those mutas, so they're really going to have to make it work and actually take down not only this group of units, but also do some serious counter damage. It does end up taking down 1 medevac. Should be able to get the second one if he chases, especially with the Lings to support. The Lings, please? Okay, well, not even with the Lings. They aren't even a problem. That did hit before 1-1 in combat shields. That was the risk that Beastyqt was taking by simming in there and immediately dropping. But he got a 3rd base from it, so I'd say that's still pretty useful. The Reapers come back in. What the? They do get cleaned up, though, unless they're disturbing some mining. Looks like +1 melee was skipped. Still no Baneling nest, too, and that's the biggest problem. There it is. Hello.
All right, so hopefully that's going to work now. I'm sorry. Again, the bot will be up, but the problem is how long will it be up for? Because if the Wi-Fi disconnects, I can't just keep reconnecting all the time. It's just me constantly away from the computer. But lots of mutas. Wow, lots of mutas. BC's got a good army, but it's not here. It's pushing on the other side of the map. I mean, those Widowmines, those Marines, those Liberators would make mincemeat out of the mutas.
Well, they're going to try, but actually bulking up there was very dangerous. They ended up taking out the Liberator. As I said, all of his minerals and gas went into mutas. So 18 mutas this early is nothing to scoff at. Like, that is a serious counterattack. But without any Banelings, Beastyqt's main army is a serious attack that might end the game. Especially if these Widowmines get good shots. Oh, that was so many Lings.
He took out so many of the Lings. The Liberators are splashing the mutas down. Beasty is a bit of a funky situation. The Marines are starting to die out, but he clears out all the mutas. And that, in my opinion, almost makes the attack worthwhile in and of itself.
Oh yeah, I think so. I mean, he finally got his 3rd base up in mining, but to lose all of your mutas, all your counterattack potential, that's absolutely terrible. And he's replaced the mutas too, so that means no Banelings and no centrifugal hooks.
Widowmines got some pretty good hits there at the last second. Army dips go off on both sides, but the economy has been pink for so long and so good for Beasty.
Yeah. This is Beastyqt's game, and Guru's just going to try and keep on holding on. Finally getting that +1 melee, but Beastyqt's getting 2-2.
It is scary, though, because for Beasty, that Muta flock that was pressuring his 3rd base, that could have gotten out of hand as well. Like, if he had decided to come back home, if he'd been too scared to push, the Mutas would have bought the time, Guru would have had more at home. That's a game move that it's hard to make for a Terran player. Beasty made the right one, as risky as it was.
Mm-hmm. Oh, now this is drastically less dangerous, only at 7 mutas. It's more what you'd expect for the first batch, but he had 18.
They're not even together. It's like 5 over here and 2 at home.
He finally has Banelings, though. I mean, that's good, but not speed. And not too much creep to work on, but just enough that Beastyqt overcommitted. But he's already starting to split.
He did this last time as well. Just leaves the Liberators very intentionally in anti-air mode. Like, he knows that, okay, I can siege up and get a couple of hits, but the splash damage is always going to be so much more valuable. Now, there's no medevacs. These Marines are so low, they're probably going to die. I doubt you'll be able to get those out alive, but it's going to do as much damage with them before they do. Base gets canceled. Nice pick off here out of Beasty, who was still stuck on 3 bases. And if truthfully he had chased instead of chasing that base, he would have killed what little units were left on the field.
Probably. I think he was worried about overstimming and then just dying to, like, queen hits, though. You know, you can overstim a lot. He's waiting for his next round of units with more medevacs to help out, and that is a lot of units. A lot more marauders, too, so the banelings shouldn't be able to get any hits at all, really.
GG.
Gear's gonna tap out.
Yeah, I think we saw that game coming that way. But GG, Beastyqt will take game number 1 here in the best of 3. Not too bad. Beasty, of course, coming out of strong that first series. The first thing he said was in Whisper, "I plan to win your Archon mode cup tomorrow." Right? Like, so wasn't sure how good versus bad he was feeling, but obviously it's not too bad. The winner of this fight's either Lily Canine or Mordka. By the way, bottom half of the brackets here looking pretty sweet.
Are we gonna do both semis today?
Let's find out after this game's done. We'll figure it out. Man, it's really nice. I just want to throw this out there. I've got nothing wrong with Ting. I've loved Ting. And the Ting tournaments we've been running recently have been some of my favorite. Because it's like constructed days. You know exactly who you're casting, what the casting's going to look like, and all this stuff. But I will say, it's a little bit relaxing knowing that I don't need to use every scene on XSplit twice. And I can just kind of click one button and kind of just have an easy day with production. This is like a vacation within a work week. But okay, getting into game number 2. Spawning here in the top right side of Ruins of Ceres, it is the green Zerg player, Guru.
In the top left as the pink Terran, he is Beastyqt.
So there's a lot of topics being brought up by the fact that some people don't trust G2A as a website, and that's fine. We're not here to try and convince you guys to change your moral outreach on this. But in the same way people are saying you shouldn't buy from G2A because like their practices are a little bit shady, I would make the same argument you shouldn't buy a fucking iPhone because it's made by slave wages over in China type thing. Like the ethical dilemma and the moral high ground for G2A just makes no sense to me, because the same type of person that will buy clothing made from a sweatshop will be the first type of person to boycott something completely related but a different issue. So again, for those who are wanting to get involved with G2A, here's my aspect on it, okay? They've been kind to us here on the channel. They've never missed payments. We've had a couple of instances where it's been a week or so late, but we've never missed payments. We've been working with them for almost a year at this point, and it's safe to say that we've made more money with them than pretty much all of our other sponsors combined. And with that money, we've been able to do more StarCraft and propel BaseTradeTV further. So again, whether you agree with the way G2A operates as a site with its open market or not, that's fine. I'm not trying to convince you otherwise. But for those of you who recognize that you can get some games for cheap, that you can support BaseTradeTV in the process, 2 thumbs up. And thank you for helping us out, making more awesome content, and helping us get a little bit of extra money to do so.
All the ace loot's coming out for that Vegetti.
The Vegetti. That actually kind of sounds like a car, like an Italian car of some variety.
Sure, yeah.
I thought, by the way, this is ignorance coming, because we've been over this before. I don't know what cars look like. Like, I don't know the difference of a Toyota versus
there's like
Honda.
4 wheels and...
Thank you, Fred Flintstone. All right. But I was going to say, I thought Bulgogi was a car, like an expensive car, a few years back. This is before I knew you, so don't worry. This is like, don't worry. I've learned. I know what Korean barbecue is now, etc. But yeah, initially I had heard Bulgogi in regards to like a rich person, and I thought, oh, that must be a fancy car.
Wow. I don't know about Bulgogi. Like that's just a funny word. That doesn't sound like a very nice name for a car.
Like a Bugatti, Bulgogi. It sounds similar enough to me that I made that connection in my head. I
guess I can see that a little bit. That's funny. We do have just a very small marine push coming out here. Beastyqt did end up going for 3 barracks right off the bat, basically. After his command center, that is. So no factory, no starports. He wasn't teching. He was just getting as many units as possible. And I think this is an improvement on the same build we saw on the same map versus Snake, but he didn't have to worry about Snake's odd opener and follow-up. So this is definitely a surprise. He's a creature and a queen.
I mean, getting the queen alone is a nice start. He might get another one with this, too. There's Lings on the way, but not here yet. He's got full drones. Queen does go down. This means some drones are going to go with this. Beasty getting vicious with this attack.
Woohoo.
I gotta say, this is the best use of 5 Marines I've seen in StarCraft 2 in a long time.
Yeah?
Like these are all gonna go down. But that's 2 queens and 6 drones. This is good.
Even the one that canceled a Dark Shrine.
Doesn't matter.
These 5 Marine pushes have been really... they've been mostly on, actually. There's one time we saw them get absolutely crushed, but most of the time they've been doing a lot of work.
Yeah. That's actually... It's funny, too, because I remember... who was it? Euthermal. I think it was Euthermal was one of the first people we started to get really aggressive with Marines, and we kind of said, like, why? But it worked, and it's... Again, for BC here, looked pretty nice.
Yeah. The follow-up is again going to be on that 2 base, and he's going to throw down a 3rd afterward. Looks like he was a little scared of maybe a retaliation, like a bunch of roaches flooding in here or something, because he's getting a second bunker. But it is not necessary. Beastyqt is going to have to just deal with a macro Zerg here. He's going up to a lair right now. But this build looks a lot better. You know, that stim is a lot sooner, and the medevac should be coming out to the reactor instantly. Yeah, exactly. So no odd timing where you get to Liberator first. It doesn't really help out. And this should be very powerful and might just completely surprise Guru once again. But instead of just killing 3 drones and a queen, it actually might lose the game.
Well, okay, I was wondering what this big circle is about, just taking down the rocks over here. The army for BC, that army supply is climbing quickly. I'm not sure when he's planning to time out this push. Like, it might just be straight up here with the medevacs, by the looks of it. That's a lot of Marines. Now, it's worth noting before, we did see, like, 1-1 timings with this. But this doesn't need 1-1 if you've got an extra, like, 12 Marines.
Yeah. Well, the timing is very important here. So, believe it or not, even just showing this to the Ling was pretty important. If Guru was being a little less greedy and, you know, maybe got a Baneling nest already ready to go, he'd be morphing in Banelings right now. As opposed to if he'd done like a double drop straight into the main where he'd have actually nothing and no roaches to be used.
Oh,
now he's getting a few more roaches.
Yo, as he catches them 2 at a time? Oh, that's huge.
Yeah. I was going to try and take on the queens, and then actually just... he could have taken on more roaches, but he's looking for more damage over time, since you do have the power of these medevac drops. You should be using them.
Getting in there, one of the biggest aspects of taking on roaches is when they are split up. If you're engaging 3 or 4 roaches at a time with Marines, it's the best way to deal with it. Because when they're bulked up, they just got this element where they've got each other's backs, I guess you could say. They're tanky units, they attack slow, but they hit hard. But if you've got Marines with the surround, it's kind of like watching Lings versus Roaches with that same surround. Now, he does have round 2 pushing down the middle of the map. This one's paired up with a couple of Widow Mines. And luckily, with no easy anti-air, BC's kind of got free reign to use these medevacs.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, that is the main problem. Guru is going for roaches and probably Ravagers, but now is in need of a Spire. He might have been deciding to, like, wanting a transition, but maybe a little while later, as he is getting that +1 melee now too. But it's already going a little bit sideways. Spire's still not done. His queens are going down.
It's worth noting, with the amount of queens that have died so far this game too, not significant, I mean 4's not insane, but it has cut into what Guru could possibly have even had here for anti-air to chase the medevacs around. Again, with the Spire being later and nothing to stop this has been certainly annoying. But Guru still reaches out and takes a 4th while this goes on. His drone count's not looking so bad. BC's killed 10, but it is picking up in the army supply for Guru a bit.
Yeah, Beastyqt, though, I think is doing a pretty good game. Like, this looks much better and much cleaner than that game versus Snake. His upgrades are even going to be 1-1 as opposed to just the single upgrade. Although Guru will be matching him because he got +1 Carapace so early. A couple more drones going down, and he still has the power of the drops. The mutas are on their way, but only 4 of them, okay, now 5, isn't going to be able to one-shot a medevac for sure. And Beastyqt still has some time to do damage, or at least clear up creep. Misses the live creep tumor, though, that kind of sucks.
Yeah, a bit awkward. But this is something where, okay, the supply count looks a little bit better for Guru, but it's roaches. It's a lot of roaches. That's not necessarily better units to have when things like Liberators and Marauders are in play. The Mutalisks are going to be the most interesting aspect of this to me, because BC may come into this once again with the Liberators not sieged up, with the goal of using them for anti-air only. And if that's the case, his ground army is still good enough to take on the roaches. But if he can catch either parts of Guru's army alone, and without support of the other, I think BC's going to take that fight. Every time.
Yeah, Beastyqt, I think, should be taking the fights unless Guru has some really nice, like, calls and basically all of his armor together, because he still doesn't have a Baneling nest, so they're not going to have Baneling speed. He is trying to transition over, so he's getting that +2 melee as well, but Beastyqt is already ahead on the upgrades. He's going to stim in and win the 4th base over. The Roaches trying to escape, but they're barely helping now, actually. Turning them into Ravagers might help buy time, as you can throw down a Corrosive Bile or two, but he scans the army and I guess doesn't want to tango with the Mutas quite yet, even though I think the actual army itself was not too scary with unupgraded Roaches.
So, people saying the thought of this being a rebroadcast in chat. I just want to touch base on this. This is kind of why I don't like the idea of rebroadcast. There's a couple of different reasons for it, but we've been rebroadcasting a lot of the Ting stuff, specifically because we've been having to play them at early hours, and people haven't been able to catch them. What I love about doing stuff at this time zone, like when we start things at, say, 10 a.m. on the Pacific, it means that usually it goes into the afternoon, and usually most people get to see them, and there's no necessity to rebroadcast that. But my fear does go into, if it turns into like an ESL channel, we're doing rebroadcasts all the time, then people won't know when it's live. And that's a very serious concern for me.
Guess it's like these couple of things that are actually really interesting to talk about for like a caster streamer themed talk show.
Too bad there's none of those.
Yeah, talk show we have right now doesn't really talk about us.
Our talk show is the game. People think we're commentating, but that's a mistake. You know what, here's the thing. People get upset about that, right? And I've realized this. We've never actually advertised that we're casters or commentators for the most part. Like, that's just assumed on everyone's part. And I wonder if people get upset because they come into this and they're like, oh, well, I assumed wrong. And nobody likes being wrong.
I don't know. They come in assuming that it's going to be like suit and tie ESL cast? Maybe.
I wouldn't mind wearing a suit and tie just because it look good, but, you know.
I want that, like, I would love to look good in a suit and tie. I actually am really tempted to get, like, you know, tailored and whatnot, but I'm gonna hold off on it.
I like the outfit you had for the, was it that Archon mode picture we took a while back?
Yeah, but it wasn't, it could have been better, so.
Okay, well, whatever. I just know that you need to get your own tie and not use mine next time, because it looked goofy with how big it was on you.
Well, yeah, exactly. I have to get, like, a smaller tie. I guess they sell women's ties, maybe? I don't know. Maybe there's, like, a slim tie that I can just get. I don't know ties. Anyways.
Yeah, next time I see you, you'll have, like, one of those really stupid-looking Texas ones.
Oh, the little, like, the cords?
Yeah, what is it? It's not even like a tie. It's like 2 ropes with a piece of metal that go around your neck.
And somehow that's considered to be, like, their professional fancy. I don't...
Should we... Do I have to wear one of those to Olivia's wedding?
Can you, please?
Can I not? Please?
Is that offensive because you're not Texan?
Yeah, I don't know. Like, is that like a like? Do I have to earn that? Is it like a Purple Heart? Like, am I just gonna look like a huge ass for wearing one without having?
You'll probably look like a huge ass.
You haven't wrangled enough cattle in your life to wear 2 pieces of rope, and okay. Anyways, we'll be more condescending later. The attack on the verge of happening. That's a lot of banelings off of creep, but Guru's got a really nice army. Like, I really like the army composition he has going into this. It's a little bit of everything to match what BC's got available. And of course, Corsair Boss. Oh my god, almost take out all the medevacs right away.
Yeah. Of course, you're focusing on a lot of things in these fights, and mostly you're focusing on splitting your bio and making sure that your liberators are set up, or not set up, actually, depending on which ones you want to leave for the Mutalisk and the Corruptors here. But you're not going to be paying attention to your medevacs. That's the last thing, as it comes down to this late-game scenario. And it is coming down to late game. Like, Beastyqt had a really nice attack. I think he had a nice follow-up. His macro was good. But Guru was able to just... He was able to live long enough for like that early game aggression not to matter. Basically, he has a big bank. He hasn't gone up to a lot of tech yet.
No.
He does have the 5, however.
Lordy, lordy!
Oh Jesus! Damn. Okay, well. Let me make that.
I don't even know what to say about that. That was just the thing is, first up, that's disgusting. But that's the element of anything with splash damage in this game, right? Like you stand still for banelings, you stand still for storms, liberators. You're gonna have a bad time, and there was no reason for Guru to be clumped up like that.
Thanks to Loopsius for resubbing 15 months in a row.
Nice.
I was talking about before that happened how the Hive wasn't really being used yet, but now we have the Ultra's card at the very least. Maybe go for the +3 melee, certainly still upgrading his Carapace for both ground and air. And, you know, they both expanded quite a bit. I like Beastyqt's position a little bit better. He's starting to get that bigger bank, and the Ultras are still not out, but he's not doing like that kill move, you know, which he might have had once or twice in this game. I don't know about a third time. I don't know about this army, but it is a very scary army, so maybe Guru doesn't want to take it on, not with all the Liberators already sieged. Or maybe he does? A little bit of indecision in the middle of the map. A lot of drones are going down, too, at that 4th base.
Yeah, and of course, with the hatchery getting knocked down, Beasty leaves a decent amount of units over here to try and focus the hatchery. I don't think it's going to actually go down, but he's left with enough army to actually fight should he need to.
Okay, yeah. Guru is once again too scared to take on that army. I really love his Ravager counts, actually. Like, if there were roaches, they'd be a little useless. You just want to basically like get rid of them to replace it with Ultralisk. But Ravagers are able to take out the Liberators if the Corruptors can't, and are just adding a lot of time buying potential, as well as, you know, that extra little bit of splash if the Banelings aren't going to be enough against all the Marauders that Beastyqt has.
By the way, bolo ties are apparently what it's called.
Ah.
I still don't understand a thing about them, but I think they still look silly either way. Every time I think of one too, it's like that classic, like a cliche, like a oil baron, Texas, like 2 guns toting guy wearing it.
Toting?
Yeah, like Wile E. Coyote. Or not Wile E. Coyote. What's the Texas Sam?
like
Yosemite Sam. There you go.
Okay, there you go. I was like, Wile E. Coyote is
he's
Coyote,
really good
as far
at
as I
painting.
know.
He's really good at painting tunnels, not wearing bolo ties. Rifkin. What are you doing?
This game is not going to end anytime soon.
No, but
Beastyqt is up 1-0.
Right. But I was gonna say we do have the late game actually coming to effect. So Guru's been doing a great job poising and posturing, and this middle game army wasn't too bad for him. I'm excited to see him now at Infestors more than anything else. I don't really care so much for the Ultras. I don't care so much for the Ravagers. I really like the Infestors though, because they're gonna make it so you can actually take engagements. And
yes,
plus, let's not forget, fungal growth will interrupt ghost snipes, something BC's very keen on using.
Oh, Jesus, this entire army was super clumped up, but thankfully still out of range of those fungals that aren't there anymore.
No, removed from the equation.
Yeah, pretty quickly, too. Yeah, I was hoping someone else would notice that you said Lottie.
What did I say?
You said Lottie.
Yeah, Lordy.
I couldn't...
Swing low,
it took me a lot of effort not to laugh at that. Glad someone else noticed. Looks like they're gonna go pee on this building here.
Yeah, caustic spray, but we'll decide to walk away.
They didn't really have to go.
Well, I mean,
I
think he knows that the Liberators are out in the field and realizes, okay, I could have maybe risked it, but not going to be worth it to lose everything. Because even a couple of the Corruptors, they just keep the Liberators from being able to freely siege up. That's the big difference here. But nukes on the way for Beasty. +3 ship weapon upgrades are going to ensure that those Liberators are hitting as hard as possible. And yeah, we saw him in this situation already. We already saw Beasty pit up against Snake in the late game. Similar composition, similar styles. I think Guru's got a better composition, and Snake had focused a little too much on, say, the Ultras and the Ling aspect of it. I don't think Beasty's going to get away with as much nukes. Those were a little bit silly and frivolous. He does have to rely on his actual army quite a bit more. He's going to find Guru out of position for this base, so this lets him siege it up pretty easily. Drones could escape, funny enough, but unlikely that this army fight will go well for Guru should he come running in. In fact, one of the Infestors goes down this immediately.
Yeah. Scanning everywhere to determine where that army is coming in. It comes with the Ultras and Ravagers first, so the snipes are going to go off unhindered.
That's so many Banelings, though, still running in underneath this. The bio's going to fall apart underneath it. Now the question is, can the Marauders and Ghosts win this out? And I think the Ghosts could, to be honest. They sniped the Overseer, so there's no detection.
Yeah, and the Ravagers, I mean, they end up just going down super quickly. And that is game. Nicely
glorious. BC will take the Series 2-0, head on to the semifinals. Big question is, though, who does he fight? And what you know, it's Lily Ganine. Now, we are going to try and guess both semifinals. I don't know which one we're going to hop into first, but we are going to go to an ad break quickly to get it out of the way. Again, if you guys are enjoying the G2A Monday Cup, consider hitting up our promo link, g2a.com/r/BaseTradeTV. Buy some games. Doesn't matter what it is. Could be StarCraft, could be Tomb Raider, could be Stardew Valley. Whatever you feel like playing, get it for cheap on G2A. We are going to go to a break, though, and we'll see you guys in a couple minutes.